Let's talk about the Mandela effect. Now, we all remember Curious George having a tail, whether some of y'all remember him having a long curly tail or just a long tail in general. And according to people, I did my research on this, and it's really mind blowing to me how the Mandela effect actually works. It says, no, according to the Mandela effect, Curious George never actually had a tail in the books or illustrations, despite many people vividly remembering him with one. This is considered a classic example of a false memory, which to me is very mind-blowing as an adult because, like I said, watching Curious George as a kid, I remember him having a really long curly tail, which to me, that is just really shocking to me that he actually doesn't have one. Now, when it comes to Looney Tunes is a classic. We all know Looney Tunes. We watched it when we all grew up as a kid. And that was my favorite show growing up, was the Looney Tunes. And if you guys remember, and comment down below if you remember this, Tunes was being spelled Toons instead of Tunes, which is crazy to me because the belief that the show is often referred as Looney Tunes, okay, with the two O's, instead of the correct spelling term, which was Tunes, which some people say now, like, they don't remember it being spelled tunes, and some people remember it just being spelled how it is now. But it's just shocking to me because that's not how I saw it. And I think it's because the Looney, and you think it's a cartoon, and it's a cartoon, right? Well, the Looney, you would think tunes would be spelled with two O's instead of UN, which is crazy to me. Very mind-blowing. I've read up on it, I've watched videos about it, and some people have even said that they thought it was tunes as well, but it actually really never was. Now, we all remember Fruit of the Loom having a cornucopia on the little symbol thing down here, and it's crazy to me because that actually never existed. That was just a figment of our imagination, which is very shocking to me, to tell you the truth. And it says it never had a cornucopia. We just thought it was there. We just dreamt it up somehow. And I remember it being on there. Like, I can remember. And the thing is, I have a really good memory. I can remember every little detail from my childhood. And this right here just really shocked me because I remember it being on the freaking Fruit of the Loom package, which to me was like really insane because my husband has said something about there being a hook on one of the packages, but he had read on it and looked it up and tried to find the little, I think it was like a little hanger hook, if y'all know what I'm talking about. And it was like a little hook. And the company have even said that they never had it on their underwear boxes, whatever. I don't remember the exact brand, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, please comment down below. My brain just is kind of scattered all over the place right now, but let's continue with the video. Now, as a kid growing up, I absolutely loved watching Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo was like my favorite cartoon. I remember having a little DVD player, and I would put my little DVD in there, and I would watch Scooby-Doo, and it was just my favorite cartoon ever. And the crazy thing is about it is that the Adam's apple that he'd had, it never existed. People have reportedly said before that he never had an Adam's apple, and they don't recall him ever having one. But as a kid, I remember him having that because that kind of just was how Shaggy was with the big Adam's apple, but he never had it, which is crazy. And you can go and try to find videos of it, and it doesn't even show, which is really crazy to me because I always remembered him having an Adam's apple, but he just never did. Let's not forget about the candy Kit Kat. Listen, I love Kit Kat so much. Kit Kat is like my favorite candy bar. Chocolate and has like the little wafers in there. Man, absolutely chef's kiss. But here's what really gets me. I remember as a kid, my dad taking me to the gas station, and I would pick out a candy bar, and it was always a Kit Kat candy bar. But I remember seeing a hyphen in between Kit and Kat, which comes to surprisingly, never existed. So, as Google says, no, the Kit Kat name has never had a hyphenation between Kit and Kat. In 2016, Kit Kat addressed the Mandela effect on Twitter, stating that the name has never been hyphenated in US or even in the UK rappers, which I was shocked because when I was doing a lot of digging up on this, it just really blows my mind that there was never a hyphenation in there, because I can remember clear as day getting a Kit Kat bar from the gas station or from Walmart or wherever I got it from. Always had a hyphenation. If you guys have a Kit Kat bar, or if you've ever seen a Kit Kat bar that has a hyphenation in there, please comment down below, because I'm really curious if I'm just like going insane or if it really is just a Mandela effect. Now, we all know the famous Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse was a really good kids show for Disney, and back then, actually, it was in a black and white cartoon, but nowadays it's in a color cartoon, which, now and back then, two different things. But if you remember on Disney, how some of the cartoons started out playing was Mickey was on a boat steering a, if I can find the video, I will insert it here. But if you know what I'm talking about, then he always had suspenders, because at the end of the video, he would kind of take his suspenders and slap them or like pull on them, which comes to my surprise. It says, people falsely remembering that Mickey has suspenders, but people say he never actually wore any of them, which again is just a figment of our imagination. And I found a picture, and I will insert it right here. It's probably been sitting here the whole time, but he actually had suspenders, and if you look on this side, he doesn't have suspenders, which is, I know I've said crazy so many times, but I'm still so very mind blown at the whole fact that this is just a false memory. And it's really hard to pinpoint this one, because there's two different sayings that he has had suspenders, or a lot of people say he's never had them, or it's just a figment of our imagination, which is really crazy. But I would try to find the clip to insert it here to kind of get a better idea, because I think in this clip he doesn't have the suspenders, but I can remember that he had suspenders, because I remember at the end of the video he would just pull them, which is still very crazy to me. This one is very interesting because I remember Monopoly. I have went to my grandparents' house and we have played it before, but I never really actually paid attention to his face. If some of y'all know that there's a lot of people stating that they remember him having a monocle on his eye, which a lot of people have stated that they have either gotten him mixed up with either the Peanut Man, or if y'all were, okay, let me read this to you real quick. It says some people have stated that the Monopoly Man wore a monocle because they could be confusing him with Mr. Peanut. So if you remember Mr. Peanut with like he has like a little monocle on his I don't remember if he might be from the peanut butter jar. I don't know, it's been so long. But it's just really crazy to me because I've never paid attention to that, but I could have sworn up and down that he might have had a monocle on his eye. I've seen some YouTubers talk about it and actually show him actually having a monocle. So this one I'm kind of like confused about, because I don't know if it could be a Mandela effect or what. But from the last videos I have seen, he has actually not had a monocle on, but everyone has dressed up as him for Halloween, and they always thought he wore a monocle, but in fact, he never actually had one. So that is actually it for the video. I hope you guys enjoy that. I know I might have sounded so all over the place. This is actually the first time I've sat down and done a story time about the Mandela effect. If you guys want to hear any more about it, I can do some more research. This was just kind of a last minute video, and I just figured why not go ahead and do it. But if you guys want to hear more about it, comment down below on what kind of Mandela effects have y'all ever experienced, because I'm very interested to hear them. So you guys give this video a thumbs up, like it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.